statement about today's game, and then we'll open it for questions.
Yeah, very, very good win for us. We're really impressed with Coach Earl and his team, and watching them on film and preparing for this game. Obviously, it's a very unique style of play, and a difficult one to prepare for in a short amount of time, especially coming off of a West Coast trip. And I thought our guys did a nice job. It was tight early and tight through the first half. You could kind of see, when they really have it going, how they're playing. The press bothers you. You shoot a quick shot, you miss. You get a little antsy around the rim. Miss a shot, whatever, and then all of a sudden, they're making a three on the other end. Or they're attacking the basket, or they're getting an execution layup. And so it's a very fast game, when you play against them. And certainly we tried to. It's the first time this year we've shown our players straight tape. Usually it's clipped, and this player does this, and we certainly did that in a normal scouting report fashion. But we felt it was important to show them the flow of the game. They don't always see the flow of the game and how teams play, and it was really important for them to see that with this particular opponent, because passing and catching, it's not about running plays against them. You have to pass, catch, be there for your teammate, be aggressive when you have it, take it when it's there, and be conservative, when it's not. And I thought our guys had a healthy balance there with that. Certainly weren't perfect. But defensively is the defensive side of the ball is what we talked about coming out of New Mexico. We wanted to reassert ourselves on that side of the ball. And I thought our guys did a nice job. Again, we weren't perfect. We still have things that we need to improve upon. But all in all, I thought the guys did a nice job.
Zeb dove to the floor
very early in the game.
First half. Did that kind of set the tone? Was that a breed homage at all?
That was a big play. Certainly you're used to seeing him do that, and we want all of our guys to do that. And even Phil, sprinting the court in the second half, right, and saving a basket and knocking it off the kid's leg, was a winning play. And so we wanted to get back to, making the winning plays that our guys are capable of making, and certainly that was one.
Do you have any update on Christian's status?
He's going to be fine. He's going to be fine. He's just under the weather, and he'll be good.
Luke, Jack, and Mike combined for 30 points. Coming off New Mexico with kind of the bigs contributed there. How much emphasis was it to get the big guys down?
I don't think it really was much of an emphasis for us, to be honest. Yes, we want to get them better looks at the basket, and part of that's the guards, looking for them a little bit more, and part of it, is them presenting themselves, right, and expecting it. I think you saw some times out there where we weren't quite expecting it, and we had turnovers on some of those. And I think they have to work together. You have to play together, and certainly it's an important part of any offense is trying to find baskets near the rim.
You sort of mentioned it. How much do you think is the guards? Because you got a bunch of experienced scoring guards out there. How much of it is them not looking for an open look, or when they're looking for each other, and how much is it those guys not creating, like, hey, you got to roll hard, you got to cut hard, all that stuff?
I think it's just working together, right? It's stuff that we work on in practice, and getting them connected, together in certain situations, whether it's a screen, whether it's just a wide pin down, or whether it's a ball screen or something. They practice all the time playing together and reading how the defense is playing you. And certainly, they were open in and around the basket quite a bit tonight. It's just the way that they play. They are more aggressive up the court and trapping and trying to get you to make quick rush decisions. And so it wasn't as clean, as we would typically run offense. You had to pass and catch, in this game. And I thought, relatively speaking, our guys did a good job. 25 assists and 7 turnovers, against that type of defense is pretty good.
16 offensive rebounds as well. Is that one of those stats that kind
huge
of
stat.
Coach the happiest?
Yeah, huge stat, and it happened in the Colorado State game too. It was a key to victory there. Was finding extra baskets, and Jack was flying in there, Michael Bell, multiple guys. Max early in the game goes and gets one. Those are so important. They could be backbreaking. Jack's at the end. He gets one and then all of a sudden kicks it out, and Phil has a step-in three. That's huge.
Congratulations on the win, Coach. Joe Bam, 20 points tonight. And in some of those runs, essentially he was really aggressive.
Yeah.
To kind of help spearhead your runs. Just talk about his performance today.
Yeah, I thought Joe was excellent, and certainly by no means were any of our guys perfect out there tonight. They're going to make some mistakes. They have to play through those mistakes, but Joe can score. Joe's confident. The key for us is Joe, discerning, right, which ones are best and what's the timing and the situation. He began to, early in the game, I think he shot the first shot, and it was designed for him to come off of that screen to shoot. But the guy was kind of there, and so maybe it would have been better for him to try to get into the paint, on that one because he was trailed. And so he began to do that, as the game wore on, and he helped us by driving the ball as opposed to just shooting the three.
Had a few games this year that were back and forth in the first half for a while, and then you closed the first half on a strong run, carried that momentum into the second half. That was when you gained separation tonight. What is it about this group that enables them to do that, and specifically tonight, what you guys figure out in that sequence that enabled you to pull?
Yeah, you're not going to win a game in the first half, right? And so sometimes there's a feeling out, right? You have to feel one another out. You think you know everything going in, or you hope you do, and what you've got to attack against them or take away, I guess, on defense. And we certainly knew the things that we needed to do in this game, but then you have to execute them, and you have to be able to do it, when the ball's tipped up. And certainly our guys have been locked in scouting reports and preparation, for the games. And then you just kind of have to play on instinct after that. And again, this was a hard prep, going into this game, and I knew it would be because of the style of play. And you can get antsy, and you miss a layup, and then all of a sudden now you're thinking about that missed layup, and all of a sudden you're not focused on what's next, and it's coming at you really fast, and then all of a sudden you make a mistake on defense. And so I think our guys did a nice job of kind of getting to that next play once they began to feel the game. And ultimately you have to compete within the game, right? And I think for the most part our guys, this year have been very competitive.
And you had to be happy with the press break overall. You alluded to the assist to turnover ratio. You guys were able to break it down pretty effectively.
Yeah, no question. I think we had a couple of times in that first half where they almost got steals. I think when we got a foul on, Jack came there and got it. But we showed them at halftime, hey, you've got to come back a little more aggressively. You've got to clear it out a little bit better to give yourselves a little bit more space. And so, there were certainly some really good examples that, we'll show them in film, when we get back of them passing, and then also, boom, the ball's dunked, before you can, blink. And, that's what you want, when you're facing pressure.
4 blocks for Luke.
What's that?
4 blocks for Luke. He leads
Yeah.
the country in blocks percentage. How much have you seen in terms of growth? Obviously, he got the start, Christian's injured, but how much just growth have you seen from him his freshman year so far?
Yeah, he's grown a ton already. He's just finished the non-conference, and he played better against some of these, the Division I teams than he did against St. Mary's, right, in the first game. It was a struggle for him. It was a struggle for him in our scrimmage game, the closed scrimmage, and he's just consistently improved. And, a little bit like Kwani last year. You used to hear me in here brag on Kwani and his work ethic and the things that he would do every day. That kid's a beloved kid, for VCU and our program because of the work that he did every single day. And he never got discouraged. And Luke's very similar. Luke is in there consistently. Luke wants to get better. He's a sponge. And he's competitive, and he has this gift, of timing and athleticism and ability to block shots. Early in the game, you saw they were coming at him, and he cleans it up. And we need him to continue to do that, and he's going to get better on the offensive end. And the guards have to put him in a little bit cleaner position, where it's a little bit easier for him right now, and more obvious, so he's not bottled up. around other players.
We'll do a couple more, guys.
Second jersey to the rafters
Yeah.
Second jersey to the rafters this season. What did you tell the team about what Briante means to this program and what that Havoc defense
They know.
is?
I mean, they know. These guys know. I mean, Briante's with us in the summers and comes back and spends time with the guys, and so all of the guys, know about him and what he brought to VCU. Just that intensity, the intensity, the toughness, the will to win, the competitiveness, the moxie. Like, he had all of that, and the ultimate competitor, and no fear, right? That's when you look at him, you're like, he ain't scared of anything. And so, what I talked to the team about right before they went out was like I know what he would be doing right now. He's going to be looking his opponent in the face and say, you ain't getting anything tonight. And that's what you got. You guys have that in you too, and you need to do that. All right, that's who you need to be every single day, in your own way. All right, you're not all him, right? But at the same time, together, like, you have that ability to really bother people, and so we've got to continue to try to get that out of them.
Anything else, Coach?
Yeah.
Thanks so much, Coach.
Thanks. Merry Christmas, guys.